What you're about to hear is not a policy disagreement. It's not a partisan spat. It is the sound of a sitting Secretary of Homeland Security caught in real time, under oath, unable to defend the indefensible. The deportation of American children, including a 4-year-old with stage 4 cancer. This isn't a headline. This is a moral alarm bell for anyone who believes in law, humanity, or basic decency. And if you think I'm exaggerating, keep watching. Because the receipts are devastating.
You have not presented any other evidence, nor has your department. Reclaiming my time, during your confirmation hearing, you said your focus would be on deporting immigrants who have been convicted of crimes and those who have received removal orders. But that is not what you have been doing. Instead, you have been deporting children with cancer, children who are U.S. citizens, a gay makeup artist who committed no crime and didn't even enter the country illegally. You have been sloppy. Your department has been sloppy. And instead of focusing on real criminals, you have allowed innocent children to be deported while you fly around the country playing dress up for the cameras. Instead of enforcing the laws, you have repeatedly broken them. You need to change course immediately before more innocent people are hurt on your watch.
Gentleman yields. I now recognize Mr. Magaziner for 5 minutes.
Madam Secretary, on April 24th, a woman in Louisiana was deported along with her 7-year-old daughter and 4-year-old son, both of whom were U.S. citizens. The 4-year-old son had stage 4 cancer. Now, you just stated under oath that the mother consented to having her U.S. citizen children removed. But I have spoken with the attorney for that U.S. citizen child with stage 4 cancer. She has also made numerous statements to the press in which she stated unequivocally that at no time did the mother consent to her U.S. citizen children being removed. What evidence do you have to support your claim that she did consent?
Congressman, we followed the same policies and procedures
What evidence do you have? What evidence do you have that she? What documentation do you have that mother consented?
We'll get that to you, sir. I don't have it with me.
Please do. I understand it's hard to keep them all straight because you've deported multiple U.S. citizen children, but I'm asking specifically about the 4-year-old with cancer who was deported on April 25th. For the record, that family was also not given access to legal counsel before they were deported, even though their lawyer was in the same building at the time. I'm holding in my hands here a document called ICE Directive 11064, Interests of Non-Citizen Parents and Legal Guardians of Minor Children. This is the policy for how ICE agents should handle situations like this. It states unequivocally that parents and legal guardians should have the ability to make alternative care arrangements for minor children prior to their arrest or detention, and that ICE must afford parents the opportunity to consult with legal counsel. So, did the ICE agents working on this case who deported this 4-year-old with cancer of their own volition fail to follow ICE policies, or were they directed to by your office or anyone else in DHS leadership?
Welcome back to True Liberty, where we cut through the noise, rip away the political theater, and tell the truth that actually matters. Let me prime your mind for what you're about to witness. Every administration tries to present an image of competence, control, and moral clarity. But the moment someone with real authority is pressed, without prepared talking points, without handlers whispering in their ear, the mask slips. That slip, right there, is where truth lives. It's jarring, it's disruptive. It creates cognitive dissonance so strong that you can literally feel the stakes shift in your chest. And that's what makes this moment so important. If you care about a country where leadership is accountable, where children aren't collateral damage, and where the Constitution isn't something you cosplay for the cameras, then you're in the right place. Subscribe to True Liberty, because this isn't a channel. It's a community of people who refuse to be gaslit by power. This is where we rebuild a political conscience grounded in justice and democracy, not cruelty and spectacle.
DHS leadership.
Sir, this mother chose to keep her child with her.
You have not produced any evidence to say so, but I'm asking again, have you directed DHS officers to ignore this policy?
It's very different than the previous administration. The previous administration
on March 15th, reclaiming my time, on March 15th, your department sent 3 airplanes to El Salvador. Those planes carried approximately 261 individuals who were imprisoned upon arrival. Did you personally review and approve the names of those 261 individuals before they were sent?
Sir, we have deported and sent home
Did
thousands of individuals.
you review the names of those
And
individuals?
we have individuals that have the
Why won't you answer the
responsibility
question?
within the Department of
Are you
Homeland
aware
Security.
of whether those 261 individuals were given the opportunity to speak with a lawyer or appear before a judge before they were put on those planes? Yes or no?
Sir, every single individual followed the exact same process.
They
that we
were
follow for
not
everyone
all.
who's
They
in
were
this-
not all given
in
the
this country
opportunity to appear
illegally.
before a judge or speak with a
And was
lawyer. On
treated the
April
same.
7th, the Supreme Court ruled that detainees must have an opportunity to have a hearing before they are deported. Are you familiar with the April 7th Supreme Court ruling?
am.
Can you assure us that in the future you will abide by that Supreme Court ruling to provide detainees with a hearing before they are
We're
deported?
following all judges' orders. Yes, sir.
I have a photograph here of André Hernandez Romero, a gay makeup artist from Venezuela. He fled Venezuela fearing gang violence because of his opposition to the Maduro dictatorship and his sexual orientation. He presented himself at a port of entry and requested asylum. His claim was found to be credible, and he was placed in detention to await a full hearing. But he never received a full hearing because you put him on one of those planes to El Salvador, where he still is today. Listen to me. He had no criminal record in the United States or in any other country. He did not even enter the country illegally. He presented at a port of entry. He tried to do it the legal way. And to this date, the only evidence your department has presented to justify his imprisonment is that he had 2 tattoos, one that said mom and one that said dad. Do you have any other evidence to present for why this individual should be locked up in El Salvador?
Sir, every case is used
you have
the
any-
same protocols and the same processes and inputs.
Do you have any
that
evidence
that
other than the
law enforcement
tattoos that say
officers
mom
use in
or dad
criminal
for why
cases.
this
So it's
individual
not
should be
just
locked
on
up?
tattoos. It's who they're affiliated with, their communication.
You have not
who they're
presented
spending
any
time
other
with,
evidence,
criminal
nor has your
activities.
department.
The cases
Reclaiming
will
my
be
time,
exactly the
during
same
your
as it was
confirmation
with
hearing,
another
you said your focus would be on deporting immigrants who have been convicted of crimes and those who have received removal orders. But that is not what you have been doing. Instead, you have been deporting children with cancer, children who are U.S. citizens, a gay makeup artist who committed no crime and didn't even enter the country illegally. You have been sloppy. Your department has been sloppy. And instead of focusing on real criminals, you have allowed innocent children to be deported while you fly around the country playing dress up for the cameras. Instead of enforcing the laws, you have repeatedly broken them. You need to change course immediately before more innocent people are hurt on your watch.
Gentleman's time has expired. I now recognize.
Join the movement. Here's the rehook. A congressman asks one of the most powerful officials in America to produce a single piece of evidence that a mother consented to her terminally ill American child being deported. One piece of evidence, one document, one sentence. And she can't do it. Not because she forgot, not because she misplaced it, but because it doesn't exist. This is where the contradictions explode. DHS leadership claims everything was done by the book, yet can't produce the first page of that book. They insist every deportee gets access to legal counsel, yet in this case, the family's attorney was in the same building and barred from even speaking to the mother. They say due process was followed, even after the Supreme Court explicitly ruled that detainees are entitled to a hearing before removal. They claim to prioritize criminals, yet their actions show a pattern of targeting the most vulnerable: children, cancer patients, asylum seekers, people who tried to follow the law. This isn't negligence. This is systemic failure wrapped in bureaucratic doublespeak. Let's reframe the narrative that conservatives have spent years building. The tough on immigration persona that is supposedly about law and order, safety, protecting Americans. But when you actually peel back the rhetoric, what do you find? The law isn't being followed. Safety isn't being protected. And the Americans who are supposed to matter so much, they're the ones being hurt. This isn't about border security. It's about power. It's about fear. It's about a political machine that relies on demonizing the vulnerable because the real culprits, corporate greed, economic inequality, corrupt political networks, are too profitable to touch. When a gay asylum seeker from Venezuela presents himself legally at a port of entry, is found credible by an asylum officer, has no criminal record, and is still deported to a dangerous country because of tattoos that say mom and dad, that isn't law enforcement. That is prejudice disguised as procedure. It is the state using aesthetic suspicion, skin, ink, identity, as justification for life-altering punishment. The cruelty is not incidental. It is structural. And this is where we must widen the lens. These decisions don't happen in a vacuum. They reflect decades of fear-based narratives weaponized against immigrants, people of color, LGBTQ people, poor people, the same groups used as political scapegoats whenever the powerful need to distract from economic exploitation. While families are torn apart, corporations are writing immigration policy to secure cheap labor. While asylum seekers are treated like criminals, private detention facilities profit off their suffering. And while children with cancer are deported, politicians who caused the crisis stand behind podiums shouting about freedom. This is why democratic integrity demands vigilance. Misinformation flourishes when institutions are opaque, when narratives are shaped by those who benefit from erasing context, when fear becomes a political tool rather than a human warning sign. But compassion, evidence, pluralism, and structural accountability are not luxuries. They are the operating system of a functioning democracy. Remove them, and society begins to rot from the inside out. Watching this hearing, you can see the rot right there on the surface: evasiveness, deflection, an allergy to transparency. But you can also see the counterforce: a demand for truth cutting through the excuses. That tension is where democracy either collapses or is rebuilt. And if we don't stand on the side of accountability, real accountability, then we are complicit in a system that deports sick American children while claiming to defend American values. If you believe in a country where the law is a shield for the vulnerable, not a weapon for the powerful, then stay with us. True liberty will not look away. We will not let these stories disappear. We will speak truth to power because human dignity depends on it.